Hello, this is my Educational Thought Assignment 3 presentation. So a summary of my education. I've had a lot of Catholic education. Not a lot of my religious education teachers had a personal faith, which negatively affected me because I just didn't take religion seriously for a long time. In preschool I was shy. I had my strengths and interests highlighted, so a lot of creative activities. I enjoyed just reading, drawing, especially photography. Kindergarten, I had a lot of close relationships, but I was still introverted. I've been introverted my whole life. And then from years 1 to 4, I had this gap where I didn't have a lot of friends, so I turned to reading. I had homeschooling for half a year there. And then in high school, I got into a lot of clubs like a social justice club, became a youth ministry leader, and I think they influenced my perspective to be a lot more social justice oriented. So in Social Justice Club, we brainstormed ideas about how to create fundraising events at the school. And then as a youth ministry leader, I was involved in a lot of school liturgies, morning prayers, religious school events. So positive experiences. I did have a favourite teacher in Year 4 called Mr. Millett. He used a lot of positive reinforcement, so a lot of extrinsic rewards like lollies, confectionery, a lot of praise. And so, he was my favourite teacher there. And I think I've really, have him in my mind as like what I want to be as a teacher. A lot of what I remember from my schooling is positive. It could be my cooperation. I was just taught manners as a child. Usually I was one of my teacher's favourite students because of the cooperation. I chose a lot of elective classes in senior high school. So like history, society and culture especially. That really, I chose a lot of classes and went into a lot of clubs that highlighted social justice issues. And I was like a creative visual learner in school. So the world, I found an article, SLADEC 2018, and they talk about Generation Z and how they react to the world around them. And I think since I'm Generation Z, this is really going to affect my teaching, being an educator. So Generation Z has grown up in a world of complete change, really. Climate change, there's mass shootings in America, terrorism, but there's a lot of advances in technology. We just have a lot of change in our world. Nothing really is staying the same at the moment, and so I think our generation has learned to adapt to that. Maybe there's not more change than before, but the change is much more publicised. The internet, social media, a real reliance on technology, they all influence this. So we have realised the ability we have to change the world through technology, really. And our age is a direct predecessor to a lot of civil rights crisis. We have systemic racism. There's been a lot of mental health issues caused by having gender dysphoria, homosexual feelings, and having no external support. And so now I think Generation Z has just done a real 180 and they've realised a lot of the root of the problems we have is usually white power, the patriarchy, sometimes people in religion abusing their power, a lot of misunderstanding, and so we're using media to really counteract this, using our voice, protesting, and so I would really like to, influence the students in my classrooms to learn that they have a voice and they can use it in society. So my educational philosophy is to raise a moral generation. I think it really aligns with John Dewey's humanistic theory of education. I think it's why education matters in society. That's its purpose, to really raise students who care about social justice issues and use this to the betterment of the society. So my morals and ethics have derived from my Catholic religious beliefs, which Catholic education has definitely influenced. Yeah, and I really value my religion for its emphasis on morals and ethics. So what content should be included in the curriculum? How should it be learned? Well, I really believe that religious education should be taught by teachers who have a personal faith of their own. This way, students won't really have just that biased view that religion is silly. I mean, they have the will to believe whatever they want, but yeah, I feel that this will really be able to answer questions for students, and the teacher will be able to speak openly about their experience with this. I think modern worldly issues should be discussed with students openly. There should be limited censorship in the classroom, so questions can be answered, and so students are aware of this and they can go out into the world after school and have this awareness and be able to contribute to society better. I think there should be a lot of student-student collaboration, student-directed learning, group learning, a lot of that to promote solidarity and unity. And this is going to really affect them after school because it's going to, it's going to contribute to protesting, inspiring positive global change, coming together as a group to do so, and knowing change lies in numbers. Generation Z, they are currently the generation, in my opinion, with the most unity against social justice issues. And so, yeah, I think we've given social justice issues more attention as we go down the generational lines. So it just falls into place here that I would educate my students like this. I think society is constantly changing, as John Dewey believes himself, and so I really don't see a point of resisting it because everything evolves eventually. He said that in his book Democracy in Education. So what does it mean to be an ethical teacher? It means individualizing education. All students are different, as Watson pointed out. And really starting social justice in the classroom because there's a lot of marginalised and Indigenous students in the classroom. Yeah, and so bridging home cultures and the classroom, and not just saying, oh, I'm one person, I can't do it. Including perspectives from different people, from situations. So we usually have the colonialist perspective from the beginning of Australia, but we really do need to make sure that we're including Indigenous perspectives, even bringing Indigenous elders into the classroom and ensuring that students have an unbiased view of situations and they're aware of social justice issues throughout history. So how I imagine my future professional self, I'll likely become a humanist primary teacher, similar in the beliefs to John Dewey's educational philosophy. Humanism is overall an affirmation of individual human dignity and freedom to autonomy. And so I would obviously treat my students equally, so the social justice begins in the classroom and they can take this into the world after compulsory schooling. Yeah, teachers can't rid the world of marginalised discrimination, but they can bridge home cultures and classrooms and bring that awareness and normalising student differences and really celebrating that. And these are my references. Thank you for listening to my presentation.